Hello and welcome to this, my latest chess video showing one of my latest games. It was in fact a game I played yesterday evening. That would be Tuesday night, the 21st of August 2012. It was a 5-minute Blitz game on the free internet chess server. I'm white and I'm calling it a surprise checkmate win. I did win the game as white with a checkmate at the end. However, I thought I'd lost the game and I thought I'd be doing well to get a draw. So that's the interesting part of the game which I'd like to discuss. And it just shows how in chess things can change, and also how things can happen that you haven't actually planned. I'd love to say I planned my win, but it just sort of arose. So that's interesting to see how this did come about. I'll need to go through the opening quite quickly because I want to talk a bit more at the end game. So I start 1e4, my favourite white opening. Black plays e5. I play knight f3, hoping for the Scotch game here, but black plays d6, and that's the Philidor's opening. However, I do just carry on here now with d4, which is part in the Scotch game, and puts pressure in the centre. Black now plays his knight to c6. This gives me a few tactics as white, and I elect here for d takes e. Black plays back d takes e again, and of course the queens are opposing one another now, so I play queen takes queen check. Black has two moves. He can take back with the knight, but then the e5 pawn will be lost, or he can take back with his king, but then he's lost his castling rights and the king is exposed in the centre. So here we see black takes with the king, and I develop knight to c3. Black develops bishop to d6. I develop bishop to g5 check, and here I'm just looking to see how black will block the check, maybe with bishop, a knight or a pawn, or even just move his king. In fact, he plays an easy and effective f6 move, so I have to get my bishop back to safety to e3. Black now develops his other knight, knight to e7. It can't go to f6 of course, and here I play a small pawn move, a3, stopping any of black's pieces coming onto the b4 square. I didn't want them to come in and attack on the queen side. Black develops now with bishop, light squared bishop to g4, attacking my knight on f3. I defend my knight with my light squared bishop to f2, to e2 rather, and here black now plays a small pawn move, a6, and he's stopping my bishop or knight coming to b5. I castle queen side, and black moves king to d7, preparing to manually castle his king on the queen side. Here I want to swap off the light squared bishops, so I play my knight on f to h4, and black duly obliges with bishop takes bishop, and I recapture knight takes bishop. Again, black plays rook on a8 to d8, getting ready for that manual queenside castle, and I play g3 because what I want to do now is push my kingside pawns. Black drops his king back, and so his king is now on c8 and is nicely safe now, queenside castled. I carry on with my kingside f4 push, and black ignores that and plays the move h6, and here I feel that black is getting ready himself to push kingside with g5. So I carry on and I just play f takes e, and black recaptures with the bishop. He doesn't want to get an isolated e-pawn. I have my isolated e-pawn, but black's pawns are connected. So I relocate my knight from the rim where it's not in too good a position, and I bring it back to f3, and here it's attacking the dark squared bishop, and I would like later to try and take off that and exchange the bishop and knight, but at the moment the rooks are opposing one another. Black just carries on and does play g5 move, starting his kingside pawn movement. So I play rook takes rook, and black recaptures rook takes rook. I actually try and swap off the bishop, knight takes bishop, and black recaptures knight takes knight, keeping his pawn structure intact. I play now knight to c3, repositioning my knight to a better square, and black starts to use, he's got the pair of knights and they become quite tricky, and so he puts his knight to c4 attacking my bishop. I drop my bishop back to f2, and black brings his other knight up to start to get his knights to work together, knight to c6. I decide to carry on with my kingside pawn push, h4, with my rook behind it, but black decides just to lock up the kingside pawns with g4. So I start manoeuvring my knight, knight to d5, attacking the f-pawn, which black blocks with the rook to f8. I bring my rook in to e1. Black now plays his c, knight on c, to a nice outpost on e5. Here I bring my knight back to e3, attacking black's knight, and black actually swaps off knights, which is what I wanted to happen, and I play bishop takes knight. And here black plays his knight now onto f3, which is a nice knight outpost attacking my rook, so I bring my rook to d1, and black now locks up the kingside pawns with h5. I try and strengthen my kingside pawns with bishop to f4. Black immediately attacks my weak e-pawn with f5. I try and hold on to my weak e-pawn, but I'm very concerned I'm going to find this difficult to hold on because it's an isolated pawn. And indeed black puts pressure straight away on it with rook now to e8. I defend now with rook to d5, and here I'm very worried my rook will get cramped out of the game and attacked by black. But black plays now king to b8, and he starts to move his king into the action. I protect my rook now with my queen pawn, c4. Black brings his king to a7. I start to bring my king up, king to c2, and black plays c6 attacking my rook, and I'm very worried my rook will get very cramped here now. I bring it to a little safe square, but it's going to get very cramped in a minute. Rook to c5, and indeed black now brings his king into b6 attacking my rook. I just go and protect my rook with b4, and here I'm thinking I'm now in a poor position, and I may lose my rook, and I'm not very happy about this. And in fact black starts to use his knight, which is a tricky piece in these sorts of positions. Knight to d4 with a check. I move my king out, and now black can put his knight on a good square, e6, and this is forking my bishop and my rook, and I'm hoping black will be tempted to go for my rook, and so I prepare to lose my rook, even though I could have possibly put my rook to safety on a5. I think my rook would be cramped here. So yes, indeed, black takes his opportunity to take the rook. Knight takes rook, and I recapture pawn takes knight, and black recaptures king takes pawn. And here I think I've probably lost the game, and I'm wondering what I can do now just to make it harder for black. So I play a5, and black plays rook to the open d file, and here I suddenly spot a bishop check. So I play bishop to e3 check, and now I realise that that king, having taken the pawn on c5 and now in check, is in a very difficult position because of the arrangement of my remaining pawns. The king's in check, and in fact black can only play now rook to d4 to block the check, and I play bishop takes rook, and that's check and checkmate. And so I won the game because black put his king into a vulnerable position, and I just thought when I'd lost my rook and got my rook into a cramped place that I was going to lose the game, and I came out by winning the game, not because I'd calculated it, but it just sort of arose on the board. So I found that quite interesting, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this game. Thank you.